spiritual teacher Sylvia Browne has over 60 years of experience as a psychic, 20 of which have been spent studying angels. Sylvia will draw upon her latest work to show us how much more enriched our lives will be if we can learn to listen to the angels' heavenly, blessed messages. And without any further ado, please join me in welcoming Sylvia Browne.
God bless you for coming. Love you too. I'd like to address the difference between spirit guides, ghosts, loved ones, angels, because I think it's very confusing. You know, sometimes we don't know who's in our house. Well, even if they're living, we don't know who they are. The spirit guide, please, it's not your grandmother. It's not your husband or your, whoever. It is someone that you may have had a life with, but rarely. But they have had to study for what we think of, although there's no time over there, which makes us crazy when we think about that, right? That studied for a long time to be your guide. So they're the companions along the way that stand to the right of you and nudge you and help you. They're the ones that give you the ticker tape messages. People are always saying to me, why don't I hear my guide? You do. That's what gets you to call Susie and find out she was sick. That's what makes you drive down another street and figure out there was an accident there that you might have gotten into. They're always, people say, I wish I could hear my guide. Trust me when I tell you, it's not the most pleasant thing in the world. People always say, my guide sounds like one of the chipmunks. He's got a high chirping voice. In fact, the first time I heard my guide, I went screaming down the stairs. My grandmother was doing a victory garden, and I said, oh, Grandma, I heard this voice. She said, I come from God, and I have nothing to be afraid of. She said, oh, we've all had those voices. Pick the turnips up. That was my introduction to it. No long talk, no sit down and let's discuss it. She did a little bit later. The angels are, and it's so hard because we think in finite terms. I do too. Because if God always was, so were all of we. We have always existed. And I'll tell you why. If God decided one day to make a Karen, a Sylvia, a Susie, John, Pete, then God's imperfect. So God always was, so were all of we. Whether we exist in the mind of God or separate from God. And this is what makes me crazy. We all have no problem with, I always will be, but don't we have a problem with, I always was? See, because our time goes this way, doesn't it? So you say you always were, we go, oh. But if you put yourself in a circle, you can get it. Because it goes in a circle in the now. But for our finite mind's sake, the first entities out of the chute were the angels. And they are pure entities. They're androgynous. In other words, they have no genitalia. I don't know if that matters, but... yeah, isn't it? It's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about anything. No. Nothing hangs, nothing does anything, just, you know what I'm saying. No hot flashes, perfect. But they do look male and female. There are many phylums of angels. Now here's where the rub comes. No one in human form becomes an angel. We do not change phylums. A dog doesn't become a cat. A cat doesn't become a dog. All right. Now, here's how stupid I am. I got up in front of large groups of people for many years and said, don't be stupid. Angels don't have wings. Because I thought it sounded goofy. And, of course, not going to my guide, I just took for granted that why would an entity God make have wings? I mean, birds have wings. Okay, I'm in my son's house. This shows you'd never get too smart, right? Because there's always something very humbling that makes you don't get too smart because God will humble you. And I didn't think I was smart. I just thought it was logical. But anyway, I was going from the bedroom into the foyer, through the foyer, in to get a glass of water. Right in the doorway, he has very high ceilings, stood this gorgeous, and I mean huge, angel. Very male-looking. Guess what he has? Wings. Now, what do you say to an angel? So, I am thinking, I have a lousy nightgown on. I mean, that's how we think. My hair is like, you'd think you'd like to look nice for an angel. As if they don't see us all the time. So I said, hi. So eloquent. Because after all, I have a master's degree in English literature, and he nodded, and I thought, and see, regardless of what you think, I can go to hauntings, and I can see spirits, I can see everything, but I don't walk around choosing to see all kinds of things, because I have to live in this world, and as you know, I'm very practical. So I thought, well, I could be asleep, half asleep, I might be in an astral state, who knows. So I went and got the water, drank the water, went back through, there he was. So I walked through, smiled at him, and the whole time I'm thinking, damn it, he's got wings. And his wings were glowing. That was so marvelous. They were sort of greenish glow to them. So then I went back to my guide, being stupid as I was, and said, why didn't you tell me that angels didn't have wings? She said, you didn't ask. Oh, your guides make you crazy. They can just make you crazy. And why they have wings is almost to denote what phylum they come from. They don't flap around. It's almost like if we wear a uniform. Do you see what I mean? So in other words, if they're green, they could be archangels, or they could be seraphim or maroon, or cherubim, or charities, or thrones, or principalities, gold, silver, whatever. Because there is a phylum of angels. But we don't become angels, and angels don't become us. Now, I think if there's anything close to angels on this earth, are animals. I really do. Because, they have unconditional love. They're like little guardian angels sent here from God. I really do believe that with animals, because they don't have avarice. That's why animals don't have to reincarnate. People say, I know my cat was my dog before. No, it wasn't. And you don't become a tree and a rock, or whatever, or a cow or a chicken. You don't do that either. That's a transmigration of souls that come from the old, ancient, Eastern Indian belief. Not that it's wrong, but the phylums do not change. It wouldn't make sense. Be logical. We keep coming into life to learn. And being human probably is the hardest phylum of all, because we have to learn for God. Now, people say to me, if God is all-knowing, why the hell do we have to come in? Good sense. Because if you know something, you still haven't experienced it, have you? So let's say, for sake of argument, God is intelligence, all-knowing, all-perfect, okay? But let's say, because we know we're double-sided brains, we are the emotional side of God that's experiencing for God, sending data back, not only for the perfection of our own soul, but but experiencing for God. So while you're going through your experience, yes, God knows the end result, and your contract with God isn't broken. And the only way it's broken is if you commit suicide. And don't raise your hand and say, my son committed suicide, because most of the time, 99%, people that do commit suicide are bipolar. So most suicides do get to heaven, unless they do it out of spite. Then they have to come back and do this whole damn thing over again. And if that isn't enough to keep you here, I don't know what is. We have an X number in the lives. People say, how many lives do I have? Well, you can have anywhere between 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. I haven't seen anybody with more than 60 lives, though. Never have. In 50 years, I've never seen anybody with more than 60 lives. So this thing about you get on the wheel of life and you never end is ridiculous, because you know, and I bet you right now, most of you in here know in your soul that you're on your last life. You just know it. You know why? Because you know you don't want to come back. I don't want to come back. I don't care if they told me I'd have all the jewels in the world, I would look like Marilyn Monroe, forget it. And, you know, if you say that to a lot of people, they think you're negative. No, it's just hell here. This is a hellhole. It's a bad camping trip, isn't it? Now, some people, every time I say this, will write me and say, but I've had a wonderful life. Does that mean that I'm off track? Of course not. We've all had wonderful lives at some time, but usually on your last life, I don't know what's wrong with us, something. But we do pick everything we haven't done before. It's like we save it up. You know, it's like when you think you're going to graduate and you go to your counselor in college, and they say, I'm sorry, you haven't taken chemistry and calculus and speech. That's what happens in last life. Everything that you do makes you stronger, makes you wiser, even if you're going through a desert period. And this is the thing you've got to realize. If you're sitting there, and I know so many of you because I do 20-minute readings a day, say to me, but what have I done? All I've done is live alone, or all I've done is raise kids, or all I've done is work my life. All I've done is take care of my parents. For God's sake, you came down here. You survived this hellhole. You got up in the morning and hopefully you took a shower or bath. You got ready and you moved. That's enough. Sure, we can't all be Mother Teresa. I don't know if we all want to be. She was a saint. I don't know why they had her beatified. Just go straight to sainthood. No, because she was wonderful. But, you know, another thing that just makes me kind of crazy, everybody that gets to heaven is a saint. It's not just Mother Teresa, and I'm not knocking her down. All your relatives in heaven are saints. Absolutely. They're all saints. And here's another thing. Don't be praying for the dead. What's wrong with you? Please pray for us. We're in hell. They're having a great time. You say, oh, no, I have to light candles for the dead. Light one for you. They made the race. They're done. Well, let's have a requiem so their soul goes over. Well, that's now, we'll get into the hauntings. A haunting is an aggravated, misplaced, even let's use the word deranged spirit, not evil. Stop with this. The spirit threw me down the stairs and tore my hair off and tried to have sex with me. Some of you, wishful thinking doesn't work. Only if he's cute. It's all right then. A woman said to me, this ghost keeps getting in bed with me. I said, what does he look like? Send him over. My address is, no. No, you get elevated beyond that. Sure you do. No, but that's a tabloid thing. No, when you have that kind of thing, you have to go to the doctor and get medication. You know that. But spirits can, ghosts. It's like Toys R Us. My failure. It's my failure. He will not go, will not go. I'm sure you've seen it on that old show. That's incredible. It keeps showing up somewhere. I go down the aisle of Toys R Us in Sunnyvale, California, talking to the air, as people think I am. And he says to me, if you talk to me any more about death, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. So rather than cut him off at the heels or the knees, so to speak, I still go down and talk to him. But he is totally deranged. She thinks that Beth, he died in 1888, he thinks Beth is going to come back from Boston and marry him. Does not know it is the year 2003, does not believe me, thinks he still is on the Martin Murphy Ranch. That's what a ghost does. He thinks, or she thinks, or they think that you're occupying their space. And they're just ticked off that you are cooking on their stove. You're messing around with their stuff. You're an intruder. And some people like their ghosts. If you would cohabitate with a ghost, fine. But please, for the sake of them, because eventually somebody will come and get them, tell them to go to God. Tell them that they're dead. Now, if they don't want to go, then tell them to be nice. Say, we can be nice. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. And once in a while, it isn't wrong to go around your house with salt. Don't let your neighbors see it. Tell them it's for the snails. Go through your house with a crucifix, make the sign of the cross, use holy water, and you know you can make your own holy water. Put it in the sun, make the sign of the cross over 3 times. It's your holy water. Why do you need to go to somebody that can't? You can bless. Of course you can. You don't have to be ordained. God ordained you. It's not just a ritual that ordains you. It's nice to have one, because we ordain our ministers too, but that's just a ritual. You're all ordained to be from God. Everyone is the same. See, what I'm so worried about, let me diverge just a minute, is that now in this day and age when religion, not meaning to, has failed a lot of people, what we're going to see is a lot of occultism coming up. Please, anybody who says that they have the whole truth, run. Anybody who tries to control, or we're going to have a Jim Jones thing and we'll all be drinking Kool-Aid. No. And there is a guy in L.A. that worries me a lot, and he says he's Buddha, Jesus, and Mohammedan. I said, no wonder he's so fat. He's got too many people in there. And you can't believe the people that you see on the big screen that you think are smart that are following this. Now, my girlfriend, which I will not mention her name because you know who she is, you'd know if I said it, said to me that he looked bloated. And I said, all right, you want, why? Well, she said, because there's been a lot of floods, and he's flown over and absorbed all the water. I said, all right. Now there's fires in L.A. I said, why doesn't he take his fat ass over now? And put the fires out. Does that make sense? Well, I have to go. Goodbye. Oh, yeah, right. See, we have to have logic. It's just insanity. No one has the whole truth, not even on the other side. Wouldn't it be awful? Wouldn't it be horribly disappointed if we knew it all? If on the other side we didn't keep knowing about God and finding out about the mysteries and researching and discovering. We'll never stop. How boring would it be to be just floating around on a cloud with a harp? Who'd want to go? No, it's a real place with real people, I swear to you. Because I did research for years, and it was amazing to me people from different denominations, different religions, different sectors of the world, atheists even, who all saw the same topography. They saw the Hall of Wisdom, they saw the Hall of Records, they saw the meadows, they saw the gardens, everything. Now, how could they see this? Because a lot of people believe there were pearly gates and, St. Peter checking you off. Everybody saw. And this wasn't just in death and dying. This was in astral travel. And this was in regressive therapy. Because I love these scientific minds who say, well, of course everybody sees everything the same because it's deprivation of oxygen. Oh, come on. You can deprive, let's say, everybody in this front row of oxygen, and everybody would have a different experience. How stupid. This one guy stood up on television and said that. I said, where did you get that from? He said, I read it. I said, oh, shut up and sit down, idiot. Because you read it. Half-wit. Anyway, Montel just goes, you're a mess. You're just a mess. Ghosts are not bad. They can be. The two most frightening ghosts that I ever ran into was the Bela Lugosi ghost. And I am older, but I, believe it or not, it was before my time. And strangely enough, the Hitchcock house. Most frightening places that I had ever been. Never want to go back again, and very few things frighten me. Horrible, 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 frightening, scary, bad. So you've also got to realize that something that you should be aware of is what we call an imprint. In other words, you can go into a place, and it's not haunted, but you feel bad. And why you feel bad is because something bad has happened there as imprinted itself on the place. Because all of life is like, let's say, clay. And everything we do makes a mark. So when you go into some place, or even a person, be aware of this. If you're with a person, you may love them dearly. But if they drain you, they're not good for you. Do you see what I mean? Their energy they might not be a dark entity. And then I also addressed something that I said I'd never address because I was afraid that everybody would have one. You know how that goes. And that's called psychic attack. And psychic attack is when, and he said, yes, but Sylvia, and if you see the next program, he said, you don't believe in curses? Of course not. And don't ever go to Madam so-and-so who, cross your palm with silver and take the curse off of you. There's no such a thing as curses. Do you know in this day and age, doing 20 readings a day, I bet you every single day I get somebody who thinks they're cursed. Will you stop with that? And stop paying people to take that stupid stuff off you. What makes you think that Madam, whoever it is, Zorro, can take a curse off you? Let's say even if you were. Who's she? The only person that curses you, you know who curses you? You. And haven't you seen people who are so negative, so miserable that, damn, everything happens to them? Because thoughts are things. It's Murphy's Law. I think every bad thing's going to happen to me, and sure enough it does. Yes, even with a chart, because some people can have bad things happen to them. What happens? They get up, brush themselves off. Sure, they have pain and suffering, but they go on. The ghost is nothing to be afraid of. Spirit guide is nothing to be afraid of. Angels are blessings, but a psychic attack can be when someone hates you so badly, or you can be in a group or an office, and maybe they don't even know they're doing it, but you feel it. Do you see what I mean? You absorb it. Like I've always said, germs don't make us sick. People make us sick. Don't be psychically attacked by your environment. I have a friend, and she's good. She's a white entity. But I can spend 30 minutes with her, and I need a blood transfusion. She just... It's her energy. It's just something about her. It's like, yeah. And you know what? You know what really causes that is when you get a person, and God love him, it's the me person, isn't it? Me, I, and you're like, And if you ever notice, why don't people know that you've glazed over? Why aren't they aware? Do they just keep talking to you and you're like this? Or you're doing this? Or get a clue. You're boring. Read a book. Do something. Some woman said to me the other day, I don't have any friends. I said, that's because you're not one. It's true, isn't it? You don't have any friends out there, then you're not one. Take a chance getting a reading from me. No, and it's okay not to always be loving and sweet. I hate that. Don't you hate these people always loving and sweet? Phony, phony, phony. People say, oh, I love everybody. No, you don't. You're an idiot. What's wrong with you? Or I never say a bad word about anybody. What's wrong with you, too? There's nothing nicer than to sit and dish about somebody, isn't it? What do you think confession was started from? You know, what was that one line in the movie? You have something bad to say, come over and sit by me. Oh, I love that. Wasn't that Olympia Dukakis? Yeah. Of course there's people we don't like, and it's fun to talk about that. And said, oh, but you know, God hears us. As if God doesn't know what we're going to say. And that's what I think is so amazing. People say, I have to pray every day to tell God what I'm doing. What, God doesn't know what you're doing? It's like the part in the Bible, and I don't want to knock the Bible, but what scares me is when God says, Eve, where's Adam? What do you mean God doesn't know where Adam is? That scare you? Scares me. You know what you do every morning? You brush your teeth, hopefully. At least the ones you want to keep. Every morning when you brush your teeth, you surround yourself with the white light of the Holy Spirit. You ask that mirrors surround you, that all negativity, that anyone that's psychically attacking you, that they reflect themselves. That way you're not sending anything bad. You just want them to reflect themselves. Do you see what I mean? Because when evil reflects itself, it will not stay. And good, if it reflects itself, will stay. And dear God, this day is for you, and then go about your business. You mean to tell me you have to ask God for everything? God doesn't know. Sure, I talk to Mother and Father God. You must know that there's got to be a Mother God, don't you? What the hell were we made out of? Does anybody figure that out? Adam's rib? I'd have been a hell of a lot thinner. So stupid. Almost every religion in the world believe in a Mother God except us. You know what they gave us was Mary. They said, here, Mary. Now, every time Mary appears, what does she say she is? Think. Mother, she says, I am the Mother of God. Portugal, Guadalupe, Fatima. Every time. People say, oh, I don't know if that's Christian. What do you mean you don't know if it's Christian or not? Of course it is. It's just like I had somebody say, well, I don't know how reincarnation fits into Christianity. Well, of course it does. It just means that God gives you more chances than one to be an idiot. Oh, God has to have a sense of humor. Look next to you. And our Lord had a sense of humor. Everybody forgets that. He said, the meek shall inherit the earth. Do you know what that means? If you're going to be meek and mild, this is all the crap you get is this. Think about it. You want to be mealy-mouthed? This is what you get. Ooh. Do I love life? Yes, I love life, but I think we've been taken down so many roads we just got nuts with it. We didn't know what to believe anymore. If we ate meat on Friday, we died on Saturday, we went to hell. And then they said, no, it changed. So now everybody came up from hell. There's no hell. Besides, can you imagine all-loving God would want you, all-loving God would want you to burn forever, except for my ex-husband. I said, God, I've given my whole life to you. I ask you for this one favor. And make it slow. Very slow. Rotating, you know. It's another thing that drives me crazy is this word forgiveness. Just drives me insane. There's a lot of things you can't forgive in life. Get over it. Don't forgive it. Just give it to God. People say, oh, but I haven't forgiven it. Do you know what the saying is? To forgive is divine. Isn't that true? We're not in the state of divinity yet. It's okay to hate evil. It's okay. Who in this room is going to raise their hand and tell me they like or they love Osama? No. We can hate evil. Hitler, evil. Manson, evil. What are we going to do? Walk around and say, oh, let's forgive them. The hell with them. Let them come back and keep coming back. Somebody said to me the other day, have you forgiven your mother? I said, hell no. She's in Ethiopia. Starting an uprising. When I get tired of hating her, then I'll forgive her, but I'm enjoying it too much now. You could enjoy hating people. You mean to tell me that a woman's been married to a man for 35 years and he runs off with a blonde and she's going to say, have a nice life? Come on. She wants a bulldozer to run over both of them. And she wants to be driving it. So stupid. No, and people say, oh, but if I think bad thoughts, who doesn't? But that doesn't make you, remember, I don't know how many of you were raised Catholic, because I was raised in a Catholic, Lutheran, Episcopalian, Jewish home. How about that for a craziness? And I was so upset when I was in third grade that I got so paranoid, so scrupulous, that if I saw even underwear hanging on a line, I thought, oh my God, underwear covers bottoms, bottoms are nasty. And then I went to this whole thing of, you know, I can still remember this. My grandmother said to me, you're so dark under your eyes. I thought, I'm going to hell. I'm thinking these bad thoughts. And God loved my father. He came and he said, Sylvia, what's wrong? And I said, Daddy, I'm having bad thoughts all the time. He said, listen to me. Have as many as you want and then be done with it. Never had another one. See, that's control. Don't you see? That's control. If I make you feel less by giving you guilt, that you're unworthy, that you haven't forgiven, that you're only human, of course, then I've taken superiority over you, and that's not right. Because we've all done dumb things. I've been married 3 times. I can't get it right. People say, well, how come if you're so psychic, you can't be psychic about yourself? Because I can't. She can lose her purse. I can find it. I lose mine. It's gone. Let me gripe to you for a few minutes. Do you realize that I can never walk up to anybody and say, how are you doing? You know what they say? You ought to know. Yeah. Or, you know, how's your day been? Or any of the amenities you can say. I never will forget, I had gotten off, I think I was insane this one year. I did 66 tours in 1 year. Insane. And I was sitting in the airport, my last trip, thinking to myself, what in God's name is wrong with you? I'm thinking to myself. Guy next to me hits me on the arm and says, what's my name? I said, asshole. His name was Mark, but I wouldn't have told him if my life depended on it. I wouldn't have. No. No. Angels can... Here's a really, really big scoop for you. Please call on the thrones and the principalities, because, trust me, thrones are Asda or Mother God, whatever name you want to call her, Mary, Isis, Theodora, I don't care. She doesn't care. Thrones are her army. And she's the active one. See, she's the one that gets in there and creates the miracles. God the Father is static. God the Father is a prima mobile, the unmoved mover. Whenever I have a problem, I go to her. I always go to God the Father because I love God the Father. But if I want something done, I go to her. Because she's the one that can intercept your chart. She's the miracle creator. She can make the chart bend. But most of the time, the chart stays pure. People have argued with me and say, why don't I have free will? You did before you came in. I've often said to myself, I know I got it mixed up. I put the left side on all the things I wanted to do, the right side all the things I didn't want to do, and they messed them up and got me the other one. Yeah. Just like when I said, you pick your own body. What the hell did I say? Sturdy? What? I don't know. So we have angels calling the thrones of principalities. These are the big guns. Of course the other angels are there. And when you see orbs in your room and sparkly lights, those are the angels. People have... Now, the guides don't have much as far as moving things around. Sometimes they do. But now loved ones, let's get into that have passed over, can make things happen. They're very characteristic. They can send ribbons, balloons, butterflies, ring bells, ring your phone, mess with electricity, drop coins. They're very characteristic about that. And they love for you to light candles for them. You know why? Because they can see candlelight. Don't you remember when we were kids and we would go into church during the daytime and the candles were on? Didn't you ever wonder, you say, it's bright daylight? Someone in antiquity said angels and spirit guides and everyone resonate to candles. They don't see fluorescent lights. Well, I mean, they see them, but they're like moths to flames. That's why we've always had candles. So I always light a candle. Not because I want my father to make it. I know he made it. But they do come in dreams. People say, I've never had a dream about loved ones. Then ask God to help you remember, because they do come in dreams. And they do come around you. They do. And they say, but I never felt them. That's because you're not watching. The other day, and this is up where we are, not the time of year, this woman, I was on the phone with her, and I said, well, your husband has sent you just a whole glut of butterflies. She said, that's so funny. I was out in the backyard, and all of a sudden, all these butterflies came around me and sat on me. They can do that. They can make animals, butterflies, hummingbirds. They can manipulate animals to come towards you. But they don't become the animal. In other words, your dachshund isn't your grandma. And it's not your cat, Bessie. Okay, now we're going to do a meditation. We're going to call on our angels and our guides and the thrones of heaven to come and heal us. And trust me when I tell you they do. They come and heal you. Okay, put your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands upward on your thighs. Take a deep breath. And surround yourself with the white light of the Holy Spirit. And ask for the Christ consciousness, Mother, Father, God, and all your loved ones, and your guides, and your angels to come and attend us today, right this minute, and they will come. You know, it's sort of like the field of dreams. If you make a place, they will come. And feel that each breath you inhale the love of these blessed entities. And when you exhale out all the negativity you've absorbed from being psychically attacked or being pressed on or rejected or suffered or lost. Certainly this life is hard, but remember this. The people that have gone before us just took an earlier bus. We will take that bus one of these days, and we'll be reunited with every single person. Our angels, our guides, our loved ones, people we've had from other lives, this life. So it's such a short time. Now begin to move white light and a green light and a purple light and a gold light up through the bottom of your feet. The white light first. Green light is healing. Purple light is spirituality, and gold light is higher consciousness. Really getting a hold of your psychic ability and the God-centeredness. Begin to thread these lights through the bottom of your feet. And if you can't see it, just ask for it. Through the bottom of your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs. And begin to release. Relax. Through the whole buttocks area, pelvic girdle, up through the trunk of the body, and every organ therein. Stop at any place that's affected. This is not to rule out anyone that should see a physician, but any place that's affected, chronic back, stomach, any kind of gastritis, heart, blood pressure. Ask God, the angels, especially the archangels with their green wands of healing, to place it on the affected areas. Because they do come with their green wands. On your stomach, your chest, your back, any organ, just have them run it all through your body in case there's any part that you don't even know is affected. Move down the shoulders now, the upper arms, the lower arms, the hands, the fingertips, up around the neck, around the mouth, the nose, the eyes, the forehead. And let go this much of all the things that you think you've been abused by. There's nothing worse than having someone carry through their life that they've been abused. Just let it go. It's part of the learning, yes, and it's awful and it's sad, but let that go. Because that doesn't do anything but stunt your growth. Guilt stunts your growth. The worry of forgiveness stunts your growth. Let it go. Just like I say in my books, all you have to do is just love God and do good and live on this earth and exist. Make it through from beginning to end. That way, in doing good for other people, you've glorified God. Feel yourself becoming light, floating, feeling absolutely marvelous. The pain, wherever it may be, I want you to think of it as a hot, glowing ember. I want you to pull it out mentally from your body, whether it's your back, headache, wherever it might be. Put it away from yourself, put it in a safe, and mentally blow it up. Have the angels blow it up. Have the guides blow it up. Ask that the mirrors be around you that reflect outward, that keep all psychic attack, all negativity from you, all hate and malice directed towards you. You're not sending anyone anything bad. You're only reflecting back. Because Because I don't believe in sending anybody anything bad. You're only protecting yourself. And feel yourself that you are part of the divine. God made you, and there is no other entity in the whole universe that is like you. And in your divineness that you're working towards, you do have perfection. You're not off track. If you were off track, you wouldn't worry about it. People that are not good never worry. Those of us that are good worry. If we've been good enough, did enough, have enough, supported enough, please stop that. That doesn't mean we don't have, like I tell my clients, a tree down, maybe sometimes a fence, and we have to sit on the highway, but we're still on the highway. And feel the glory of the Christ consciousness enter your heart. Feel God's soul envelop yours. Feel Mother God wrapped around you with her goddess protection. Because the year of the maternal is upon us. We've had paternal so long, we need both. Because unless we have the maternal, we're never going to have peace. And feel the quiet peace of your soul settling down. All the things that you worry about today will not be here a month from now, will not be here a year from now, 2 years from now. Everything is passing. Everything is transient. You're only occupying and renting a space. Feel the blood coursing through your body, bringing fresh blood supply to all parts of the body. This is a time now for any addiction that you may have. Ask God to please help you stop. If you're eating, drinking, smoking, doing something that you're taking too many pills, whatever, stop now. Say, God, please put your hand on my mind and heart and remove the vestiges of anything that I may be doing to myself that may be harmful. Now, where we relaxed you before and healed, feel energy now coming up to the very bottoms of your feet. Through your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, all through the pelvic girdle, the buttocks area, all through the whole trunk of the body, down through the shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands, fingertips, up through the neck, around the face, the mouth, the nose, the eyes, the forehead. And on the count of 3, come up, come all the way up, feeling absolutely marvelous, better than you've ever felt before. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sweetheart.
Hi, Sylvia. I'd like to know what my purpose is.
Your purpose in life is responsibility, and you're also justice. Justice. So I'd go into something that has to do with legal.
Legal?
Okay, yes. Yes, over here, darling.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for all the good you do to so many people.
Oh,
Thank you.
Put the mic up. Tilt the mic up for you. There you go.
I have lost my son, my father a few weeks ago, and my brother. I keep having lights go on and off all the time. I know they're there, but I don't know who it is.
Which one was that must be the son, the younger one?
Yes.
With the oval face and the beautiful eyes.
I adopted him. He was the abused child.
Yeah, because he's the one that comes around you the most.
And the white socks.
Yeah, that's from the older man.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yes, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my. I never yelled at him for bringing white socks on the wood floors.
It doesn't matter. He wants to do it.
Could you tell me about my face?
In what way?
I have to have surgery.
Oh, but that's nothing. I mean, that's just corrective. That's just corrective. Yes.
I guess my question would be also about my purpose.
Purpose is harmony and cause fighter.
Thanks.
Yes.
Hi, my brother passed away last year, and I wanted to know, we don't know if he died if he tried to kill himself or it was an accident.
It was an accident, honey. He didn't mean to. No. What does he keep talking about? He ingested. What?
He threw up in his sleep and he didn't
He
wake up.
aspirated, yeah. Yeah.
Is he okay?
Oh, yeah, he's fine. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Hello, thank you. I would just like some advice on coming out of the spiritual closet.
Coming out of the spiritual closet. Well, I think you've done a pretty good job because you're going around and you're talking to people about it, and I think that's how you do it. But what I'd really do is do some writing. All right?
Okay.
Yes.
First off, your books I cannot put down, so thank you.
No.
And I was in a car accident 11 years ago. 5 of my friends drowned and died. I came out living with 2 other survivors. Just kind of want to know the purpose of me being here. What reason was it for me to learn? Your feeling about that?
Now, this sounds so simplistic, and it's because it just wasn't your exit point. It really wasn't. See, you and I could be walking in a field, and a safe could come out of the sky and hit me and not you. Do you see what I mean? It wasn't your time. And you have really come very far spiritually, so I think that's the reason why you did stay.
One more thing. Am I going to marry my current boyfriend?
You're going to get a second question in no matter. Is he dark-haired?
Medium.
Well, is he brown-haired?
Yes.
And he has big brown eyes?
No.
Then it's not him. There.
Yes, I was just diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I just wondered how I'm going to be.
You're going to be fine. Do they want to do surgery on it?
Not yet. They told me to wait.
Don't.
Have another MRI.
Yeah,
next month.
don't. Leave it alone. I don't want to take over a doctor's position because I'm not a physician, but you've had this a long time.
Oh, okay.
And I think very seriously about what is not broken. Let's not try to fix it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I certainly do.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Hello. I've been working diligently on a career path that I really want, but it seems like I'm barricaded every which way I turn, and I'm just wondering if I'm wasting my time and I should just continue on the job that I have, or if...
Well, you're going to get into holistic work. You're going to get into healing and helping people, so that's where you're eventually going. You're not going to be barricaded into your job for that long.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd also like to know what is my purpose in life. What do I need to do next?
Well, you came in with a really rejection pattern. And then patience. So you've really overcome the rejection. Now you're into the patience, but you're going to be working with kids. Yes.
Hi. I just want to know about my purpose or what I'm going to end up doing with my life.
You're going to end up traveling a lot, but you're also going to get into a business that has to do with the property.
Thank you.
Yes.
My life's work.
Your life's work is going to be with elderly and also something has to do with human resourcing. Yes.
My concern is with my oldest son, and I'm not quite sure how to deal
Approach
with
him, you can't. He's not going to get better for at least 2 years, so it's useless. He won't listen. Yes.
I'm having trouble focusing my energies on any one particular area in my life, and I was wondering if you had any advice for me.
I see you're an experiencer. So experiencers don't need to focus on any one special thing in their life. They do many things. I'd like to see you do all of them. Yeah, you're an experiencer.
Yes, I lost my son 2 years ago, and I want to know if he made it, and if he's doing there what he could hear.
What's this about music? Because he says he's doing music.
We have a connection with music, him and I. That's how I get a lot of...
Yeah. You get reciprocation from him. Yeah, he's doing fine. He said he went very quick, though.
Yeah.
in my heart, I know it was some way other than the way it appears for other people.
It's okay because he made it anyway.
He did.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I received a box in the mail the other day, and I think my nephew is trying to send a message to his mother, who's very stressed out. It's my sister. She sent me a box of his things by accident in the mail the day I was leaving to come here. So I think he's trying to come through to tell her something.
That he made it all right, honey. Really, I mean, we want messages, we want validation, but it's just that he made it all right. Yes.
Hi, Sylvia. I was married to a man for 35 years, and I found out that he was a liar and a deceiver, and I feel that he was a
never
dark...
heard of that before of you.
I believe that he was a dark entity, and I want to know what your thought is on that.
Yeah, absolutely would. Isn't it amazing how we live with these people? And yes.
I want to know what I should be doing for my life's purpose right now.
I think to just sit back for a while and take it easy. But it also looks like you're going to be helping someone with some kind of legal papers you're going to be working with. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, Sylvia. Nice to meet you. Been tracking you all around the world and watching you on Montel. I just want to know, is my cancer going to come back?
Not a chance.
Thank you.
Yes.
I need to know if my husband is forgiven.
I'm sorry, darling.
If my husband has forgiven me.
Of course he has. Honey, people don't hold anything. No. What kind of heaven would it be if everybody was over there stomping around pissed off? Be like here. Yes.
I came from Colombia, and I would like to know if soon I am going to meet my soulmate.
A kindred soul. There's no soul. Soulmate's on the other side. You will meet a kindred soul, and his name is going to be Juan or John. John. Dark hair, tall, beautiful eyes, curly hair. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Sylvia. Thank you for being here with us. I was wondering if you could tell me about my spirit guide, who it is, because I have a good idea, but I just kind of was looking for validation, maybe.
You have a very strong female guide by the name of Bonita. Yes.
I was wondering if you see a future soul person for me too, not a soulmate, but
a light-haired male, blue eyes, about 5'11", husky build, comes in about March.
Love you. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi. I'm a single mom of 3, and I have 2 ex-husbands, and I feel like I'm on my path, but my ex-husbands are giving me a hard time. Am I supposed to stay here on my mission or move out of the country?
No. Stay here. He finally gets someone else and quits giving you a hell of a time. He just wants to torture you, that's all. Don't let him do that. Jerk. Yes.
Hi. My daughter passed last year, and I just wanted to know if she was okay and if she was with any of my family that might be with her.
Yeah, she's with an older man that has a receding hairline. I don't know if he wore a ponytail or what he had back here, but he's with, do you know who that is?
Her grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, because ponytails are not exactly in anymore. But anyway, she's with him.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. God bless you, God keep you, and I love you.